Dorks. It is the Turtle Dork back with a new reaction for you today. So this is from DC Fandome, and this was Black Adam. So they didn't really release a trailer because they haven't even started filming yet. The Rock actually has to finish filming his other Netflix movie, Red Notice, with Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot, two superheroes as well. But they put together, he talked about that, excuse me, Jim Lee and Boss Logic, who does a lot of great graphic design work for a lot of a lot of different comic book characters, and does a lot of his own like fan art and renditions. Does great work. If you don't follow Boss Logic on Twitter and Instagram, they got together and they put together kind of like this motion comic to give you a little bit of the backstory of Black Adam. They also did something else at the end of the panel, which kind of told us that the JSA is going to be part of the Black Adam film as well, because they're going to have Atom Smasher, Cyclone, Hawkman, and Dr. Fate are going to be part of the film as well. But I really like them putting together kind of like this motion comic to give us a little bit more of the backstory for people who didn't really know much about Black Adam. And it looks intriguing. And to have The Rock play a character like this that is not necessarily a villain, but can be looked at as a villain, but more so of an anti-hero. And if they really tackle this the right way, I think they could really play with that anti-hero aspect of it a lot. Same way that they're kind of doing, which we'll get to in the next video, with Batman and the vigilante aspect and how people perceive his means, or like the means to an end of how he decides to get justice, for or to right the wrongs that have been done to him, his people, and his family. I think there's a lot that they can really play with that. So, and of course, The Rock is just charismatic as hell, and to see him kind of dive into something that is a little bit darker as an anti-hero like this, I think is really going to be fascinating to see. So let's go ahead and check out this motion comic that's really just giving us a little bit of a backstory of Black Adam.
5,000 years ago, Kahndaq was a melting pot of cultures, wealth, power, and magic. Yet most of us had nothing, except for the chains around our necks. Kahndaq needed a hero. Instead, they got me. I did what needed to be done.
I love the look. I like how you see the wizard from Shazam. So really, I believe that's the wizard. The character that Jaimin Hansu, I believe that's the character that he played in Shazam.
I'm free, and I give you my word. No one will ever stop me again.
Look like he's sitting on the Iron Throne. I like that logo too. That logo looks really, really cool. Yeah. Digging that, man. Digging that. But yeah, so I mean, definitely the ties between Black Adam and Shazam, which I don't believe we're going to see any of that in this movie, as far as like Zachary Levi's Shazam, possibly in Shazam 2, or Shazam 2 could actually lead into a Black Adam versus Shazam movie, or a movie where they actually go head to head. But which is going to be interesting, because looking at this motion comic and you hear and listening to what The Rock says about this character, I'm curious to see down the line how they're going to bring in Shazam, because looking at Zachary Levi and how he plays that character, at least in the first movie, I'm curious just to see how they're going to mix those two characters together, especially if they are arch rivals. So I'm curious to see, but that's years down the line. So, but I like what we're hearing from what we're getting with this, and I think they're going to have a lot of material to play with, and how they can tie that into a lot of the stuff that's actually happening today. I don't know. My mind just started racing as far as like, the type of commentary that they could say in this movie about that character, what his people have suffered 5,000 years ago. And now he's kind of taking on this mantle of being the savior for his family and for his people and getting justice for them. I don't know. I think there's a lot that he could speak on, instead of it just being kind of like this spectacle film. I think you could really, even if you just do it in a subtle way, I think there's a lot that you can comment on and tie that into actually what's happening in the world today. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But again, I love The Rock. And, to me at this point, he could really do no wrong, except for maybe Rampage. Jesus. Anyway, Jaume Collet-Serra is directing this, who just recently directed The Rock in Jungle Cruise, which hasn't come out yet because that was pushed back, I think, until next summer. So, yeah, I'm curious because he's kind of done like more of like these kind of mid-budget action movies that he did a lot with Liam Neeson. And now he's kind of jumping into kind of the more special effects heavy, blockbuster films. So definitely curious to see what he does with Jungle Cruise and then moving on to do something like this with Black Adam. But I've always liked him as a director and always liked a lot of the mid-budget action movies that he's made with Liam Neeson. So I'm excited to see what he could possibly bring to this as well. So let me know what you thought of the little motion comic of Black Adam in the comments below. Remember to rate, like, subscribe, and share. And go to check out my other dorks at Mouth Dork, at The Disco Dork, at WB Dash, and at Sidewalk Siren. And as for me, I am the Turtle Dork. And with that, I'm out.